Football is filled with incredible father-son connections, but very few fathers ever get the opportunity to manage their own sons in the professional game. It's a unique situation, one that comes with immense pride but also serious challenges. Today, we take a look at some of the most famous cases where managers coached their sons, exploring the dynamics, controversies, and unforgettable moments that came with it. We start with the case that we are currently seeing. Diego Simeone coaching his son Giuliano at Atlético Madrid. Diego Simeone is one of the most intense and passionate managers in football, having turned Atlético Madrid into one of Europe's toughest teams. But while he's known for his aggressive tactics and defensive resilience, he's also a father to 3 sons who play football. One of them, Giuliano Simeone, had the opportunity to be coached by his father at Atlético Madrid. Giuliano started his career in Atletico's youth setup and impressed enough to be promoted to Atlético Madrid B. While he never got a major breakthrough under his father in the first team immediately, eventually, he moved to Deportivo Alavés on loan, where he made a name for himself and managed to convince his dad to call him back to the team, and now they are happily working magic together. Imagine trying to impress a father like Diego Simeone, a coach who demands intensity, discipline, and passion. There's no doubt that Giuliano had to work twice as hard just to be seen as any other player. Another fascinating case is Sérgio Conceição, the fiery Porto manager, who coached his son Francisco Conceição. Sérgio was already a club legend as a player, and as a manager, he built a team that dominates Portuguese football with aggressive, fast-paced attacking play. Francisco, a talented winger, rose through Porto's youth ranks and made his debut under his father. His playing style, filled with flair and dribbling ability, was in contrast to Sérgio's no-nonsense, aggressive approach as a player. Despite the father-son relationship, Francisco was treated like any other player, having to prove himself in Porto's competitive squad. However, after a move to Ajax, Francisco struggled for consistent playing time and returned to Porto on loan. His father welcomed him back and extended their moments. It was a true family affair at Porto. And now both have moved to Serie A, with Sergio taking charge of AC Milan and his son Francisco joining their rivals Juventus. Sérgio Conceição and his son Francisco have created iconic moments in football, from working together and now going up against each other. Barcelona icon Johan Cruyff and his son Jordi Cruyff also shared moments as player and coach. Johan Cruyff is one of the greatest footballers and managers in history. He didn't just change Barcelona, he created the modern Barcelona DNA that inspired Pep Guardiola's tiki-taka. He also had the opportunity to coach his son Jordi Cruyff. He coached his son, Jordi Cruyff, for about 2 years at Barcelona, from 1994 to 1996. Jordi was promoted to the first team in the 1994-1995 season while Johan was still the manager. He played under his father for 2 seasons, making over 50 appearances before Johan Cruyff was dismissed as Barcelona's head coach in 1996. After Johan's departure, Jordi stayed at Barcelona for 1 more season before moving to Manchester United in 1996. Zinedine Zidane also had a chance to coach his sons, but for a brief time. Enzo Zidane, Zidane's eldest son, was promoted to Real Madrid's first team in 2014. Under his father's management in 2016, Enzo made his senior debut in a Copa del Rey match and even scored a goal, making it a proud moment for the Zidane family. However, with limited opportunities, Enzo left Real Madrid in 2017 to seek more playing time elsewhere, but the brief father-son connection at the club remains iconic. Zidane's second son Luka spent several years at Real Madrid, mostly as a backup goalkeeper. He made his first team debut under Zidane in 2018, but with fierce competition from established keepers, his chances were limited. Eventually, Luka moved on to Racing Santander in 2019, continuing his career away from his father's shadow. Zidane's time as a manager wasn't just defined by his Champions League successes, it was also about the privilege of coaching his sons at one of the world's biggest clubs. Enzo's goal and Luka's brief appearances will forever be part of his legacy, blending family and football in a way few others will experience. Another manager who coached his son was Cesare Maldini. Cesare Maldini, a legendary Italian footballer and manager, had the privilege of coaching his son, Paolo Maldini, at both the Italian national team and during their time at AC Milan. In the 1990s, Cesare, as the head coach of Italy's under-21 team, worked closely with Paolo, who was developing into one of the best defenders in the world. Cesare was also briefly involved with Italy's senior team, where he had the opportunity to coach Paolo for a short period. While Caesar's managerial role was brief at the senior level, the father-son connection at AC Milan was stronger. Cesare was AC Milan's manager for a time in 1987–1991, before Paolo became a first-team regular. Although Paolo's career flourished more after Cesare left the managerial role, the two shared significant moments both in Italy's youth squads and briefly on the senior stage. In total, Cesare coached Paolo for around 3 years, from the early 1990s until Caesar's departure from managing Italy's senior squad in 1996. Their connection remains one of the most iconic father-son pairings in football history. As we've seen, coaching your own son in football is a unique experience that comes with its own set of challenges, emotions, and unforgettable moments. From Diego Simeone and his son at Atlético Madrid, to Zinedine Zidane passing on his legacy at Real Madrid, these father-son duos have created stories that will be remembered for years to come. Whether it was triumph or struggle, each connection highlights the special bond between a father and his child in the world of football. If you enjoyed this look into the world of footballing families, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more amazing stories, insights, and football content. Don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear which father-son duo you found most fascinating.